Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindseymperez, your friendly neighborhood beauty enthusiast. Today I am showing you how to get a big, beautiful, bouncy blowout at home, what products to use, what tools to use, and it's super simple. I promise you can do it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more.
All right, so I washed my hair and then I just put it in this little turby twist, I think is what it's called. Turby twist. It's just like a microfiber towel. And I haven't done anything to it since. So you want your hair to be not soaked, but not dry by any means. So I'm gonna blow dry it, but I'm gonna show you what products I'm gonna use to prep my hair first. So you always wanna start with a heat protectant. I'm gonna use my Kevin Murphy Leave and Repair. I'm gonna do about 2 pumps, but it's not pumping. There it goes. That was too much, but it's fine. Anytime you're using a type of lotion, start on your ends and work your way up so that your roots don't get greasy. But you want to go all the way through your hair. Okay, and then next I'm going to use, I'm not going to use a ton of products, guys. I'm going to use my Kevin Murphy Body Builder. So this is it's kind of like a foam mousse. It's not really a mousse. It's not thick and heavy. It's more of a foam, but it gives lift. So how I put that on is I section out my hair, not like really well, and I just spray this onto my root. Oh. And I'm gonna flip to the next section. You don't need a ton, and the more you use, the more you'll feel in your hair, obviously. And then I'm gonna do the other side. And I kind of avoid this front area on me because I have some little baby hairs and bangs that I'm growing out. So I don't do a ton right around my face. I try to keep it toward the back of my head. And I'm probably doing 1-inch sections here. And then there's a little bit on there, so just take that. And now I'm just gonna run my fingers through to emulsify it all the way through my head. And you do have to blow dry this in. You can't just put this in and let your hair air dry. It's gonna feel like hairspray if you do that. When you blow dry it, it doesn't feel that way. Okay, and then last thing I'm gonna use is my Kevin Murphy Blow Dry Ever Lift spray. I'm just giving it a shake just to make sure it's all mixed. And I'm just gonna spray this at my root, but not directly on my root, if that makes sense. But closer to my root than my ends. And again, I'm just sectioning out. I'm gonna do a little bit back here. Okay, now I'm gonna blow dry. I'm gonna mute this so that you don't have to listen to my blow dryer. I am using my Dyson. You don't have to use a Dyson. Just use any blow dryer. But I'm gonna do high heat, high power. And I'm gonna explain how I blow dry my hair. So make sure that you don't blow dry like against your hair. You don't wanna be blow drying up against it. You wanna go with the way that your hair is falling, but over directing so that you're getting lots of volume. So now I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we're already getting some lift here. If you notice, I kept my blow dryer focused on my root area, not so much my ends. Obviously, that's a little bit easier when your hair is shorter. Can be a little bit harder when your hair is really long. Like, see why I don't put it on my front of my hair? So I have my hair probably 75 to 80% dry. There's still quite a bit of moisture in there, but like you can tell it looks mostly dry. So now I'm gonna switch to my Amika round brush. If you do not have a round brush blow dryer,
You'll see what I mean. You can just use a blow dryer with a round brush. This is a little bit harder to do. You could also just use like a regular brush, like a paddle brush, that's what I'm looking for, and just brush your hair while you're using your blow dryer. If you do that, make sure you put a nozzle on your hair, because when you start pushing it against the brush, if you don't have that nozzle on there, it creates split ends because the hair doesn't know which way to blow because it's pushed up against something. So make sure you have that nozzle. It concentrates the air exactly where you want it to go. So you can do that and just use a round brush. I'm just gonna use my Amika brush because a lot of people use these when their hair is completely wet. I personally just don't like to, which is why I blow dried my hair beforehand. But you can, it just takes longer. So now I'm gonna section my hair out. The Revlon brush like this, kind of a similar thing, cheaper price. I've heard the Revlon one gets super, super hot, so just make sure you turn that heat down on that. This one gets really hot too, truthfully. When I'm around my face, I turn the air down so that it's not so hot because it'll burn me. So I'm just gonna section my hair out, like a 2-inch section. I'm not worrying a ton down here because my hair has a lot of texture and kind of layers underneath here. So this is a little bit too big for it. So I'm just gonna turn it on and I'm just gonna round brush through. And then once the hair's dry, I'm gonna go to my next section. There's just a hair stuck in my eyelash, it's fine. And I do this one kind of right at my temples there. This is just what works for my head size and shape. If you have a bigger head or a smaller head than me, find what sectioning works for you. So here I'm gonna over direct forward and kind of go back on each side. That's just gonna help pull my hair forward. And I'm gonna turn my heat down now because now it's warmed up after that first section. So I'm gonna turn it to a little bit lower, you'll hear it. Just around my face. Yes, I get these clips from Sally's or wherever. They're amazing. Same thing, over direct forward. And you're noticing I'm just like constantly twisting. This cord is meant to do that so it won't get tangled up because it's meant to twist like that. So I'm gonna go low heat around the front and then I'm gonna switch to high in the back. Okay, so we're kind of sort of at our last section. So you notice I kind of pulled everything up. Now I'm gonna pull all of this forward. So I'm gonna start with this back area here. And I'm just gonna clip this out of the way. So over directing forward is gonna give us a lot of that lift. So I'm just gonna go from the back and kind of work my way back with this. High heat.
after it's dry, let it set here for just a second. Just let it cool. You can even spray a little hairspray on it. I'm not going to, but when I say cool, I mean it needs to feel cold. Not cold, but it needs to not feel hot. And then flip it back. And you see, like, it wants to go forward now because I gave it all that lift. It doesn't want to stay back. That's what we're looking for. Okay. And then this section, I'm just going to do all in one because my bangs usually have to be flat ironed anyways. And if you grab a little bit of this from the back, it's okay. So I have like a 2.5 inch section here. High heat. Again, wait for your hair to cool. So what waiting for your hair to cool does is it sets your hair in that position. And that's why we use heat protectants too, is because we're using really high heat. I know that piece looks crazy. So we have my volume in there. I'm gonna fix these little pieces, and all I do for that, low heat right here. And I just take just this little front section, curl it, same on this side. And then again, after it cools, I don't usually wear my hair in a middle part, but I like to blow dry it in a middle part so that when I flip, I get that much more lift out of it. But you can just see, like, my hair is bouncy, it has good movement, this is lifting. I'll spray this little page down because that's just my life. Isn't that great? I love it so much. And look how just healthy and just pretty everything looks. You can do a little bit of hairspray at your root when you're done. I usually don't, because after this, tomorrow, next day, I'm gonna put dry shampoo in it, I'm gonna curl it, and it's gonna just add more products to my root. So I usually just leave it like this because I already have 2 products on my root. And then day 2, 3, 4, I start adding dry shampoo, and that just keeps that lift in there. This does not dissolve out of the hair after a few days, so it's gonna stay in there and it's gonna stay giving you that volume. So again, you can do the same thing with your blow dryer, just like I showed you. It's just harder because you need both hands, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of practice. Even as a hairstylist, I still prefer using a brush like this over my round brush, unless I'm doing it on someone else, then I'll round brush their hair. But there's some volume for you guys. Let me know if you try it. If you want to try any of my Kevin Murphy products, please let me know. I sell them out of my salon. I'd be happy to ship them to you. Thanks for being here, and if you want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button.